You ever notice how forcing yourself to change feels like pushing a stalled car uphill? You're sweating and grinding and telling yourself you should. And the more that you push, the heavier it feels. And it even starts rolling backwards on you sometimes. But then there are these other moments, quieter moments, where something inside you starts pulling you forward. You start imagining feeling better. You see yourself making better choices. And suddenly, it doesn't feel forced anymore. Kind of feels natural, right? It is day 33 of my Elevate Life journey. So stick around until the end of this video because I have some significant progress that I want to share with you. And I also have an affirmation today that ties in with this message very, very well, and a simple challenge that could completely shift the way that you think. Now, Rhonda Dillard here, building my mind, rebuilding my mind, and transforming my health with simple habits and cutting edge wellness tools. And I'm so excited that y'all are here with me. You've taken the time out of your day to be here. One of the things that I've been thinking about lately is the difference between being pushed and being pulled. When you're pushed, you end up reacting and sometimes overreacting, right? You're trying to fix something, you're forcing discipline, you're telling yourself you should, and if you don't, you feel like a failure. But then when you're pulled, imagine yourself being pulled and you're moving towards something meaningful. You're drawn by a vision. You're guided by possibility. That changes everything, right? The whole feeling changes. Your demeanor changes because when you feel pulled forward, you don't have a reason to fight. You don't have to rely on willpower. You don't feel like you have to fight and argue through every decision. You just start choosing differently because you like the direction that you're headed. And many of us have sat on a beach, right? At the edge of the water and felt that pull of the waves. There's no effort there, just a feeling of quiet release. When you're being pulled out. It's not loud and it's not dramatic and it's not subtle. It is that quiet thought that says, I am ready to feel better. I want to feel better. It's picturing yourself waking up, flowing with energy, not against it. It's imagining your life feeling calmer and more creative. That pull can be so powerful. And most people ignore it. They wait for motivation, they wait for discipline, they wait for the right time, right? But the truth is, that quiet pull is the beginning of our change. You don't need to force everything, you just need to listen to it and then follow it with the next right choice. You schedule the hard stuff. Remember to schedule the hard stuff so you make sure it gets done. And when the moment comes to do that hard thing, you make the next right choice. You just flow with it. And that's how you can use that pull to boomerang it into sweet momentum. Now, let me share what's going on with my progress because talking about momentum in this journey, I can really relate to this change from the pushing to the pulling right now. Today is day 33. Wow, so incredible because I have not been someone who would stick with something for very long. And 33 days is pretty good, right? But I've really been noticing the difference between forcing myself and feeling that pulling forward. I am loving my clear thinking. I actually feel excited to sit down and work on this series and work with y'all. I feel more creative than I have in a very long time, and ideas just kind of come to me easier. My memory is more intact. It seems like it's been improving. And I've always been, pretty good at things like Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, those type of things. But lately, the answers are coming to me faster, easier. The names of items. Now, this is where people our age really have trouble. The names of items and people's names, right? That sometimes elude me. They're kind of there, just kind of waiting right outside. And I find them a lot quicker instead of them just being buried somewhere. It just seems like I'm thinking more clearly. And I can't tell you how good that feels. I can look back and see what a fog I've been in, right? Now, I haven't completely rounded the corner on eating, of course, but I'm working on it. And I'm working through the low glycemic. I want to do the low glycemic because it's better for me, but no dairy. So, all that aside, we can talk about that all night. That I want to stay on. So, I am still working through all that. But here's what I'm noticing, and this is really important for me. My the cravings, those the snacks aren't calling me anymore, right? I haven't had a late night snack in days, and that used to be like automatic. Also, I used to like have something to eat and have something other than that planned to eat right afterwards or eat an hour later or whatever. You always if you're like me, you're thinking about that. Um, and I'm not thinking about that anymore. It's so weird. It really is very weird. Not hearing those snack noises. The food noises just kind of quiet down. And honestly, it's really hard to explain, but that used to feel normal. Wanting something sweet after a meal, or I mean, that was just kind of part of my routine. And now that it seems to be that seems to be gone, actually feels a little weird, but in a good way, right? And I will say this, I've noticed this shift since I started taking this little triangle. And it seems like there's a lot more in this little guy than I first thought. It is like that part of my head got clearer, got quieter, right? And when the noise gets quieter, that pull toward feeling better seems to be getting easier to follow. And I think the big part of that is purpose too. When I think about why I'm doing this, not just for me, but to help you, other women just like me, elevate our lives, it changes how I show up. It doesn't feel like pressure. It feels more like a calling. Um, and that calling is what's pulling me forward. Now, I have a great affirmation for this that I actually started using, and is I flow with the quiet pull toward a better life, and each right choice moves me forward with more and more confidence. I flow with the quiet pull toward a better life, and each right choice moves me forward with confidence. Be sure and say it and read it and write it, because repetition is so much the key. Because when we repeat something, you believe it, you start believing it. And when you believe it, you start acting differently. And when you act differently, your life really will begin to change then. That goes perfectly with my tip today, too. And this one has honestly changed my life. I've been doing this for years. Affirmations really completely turned the way I think around. I used to let my thoughts kind of go wherever they wanted to go because I didn't know any better, right? And most of the time, they were definitely not helping me. But when I started intentionally repeating the same empowering thought day after day, it started changing how I saw things and how I responded, right? So here's a simple challenge for you. Take today's affirmation. I'm going to put it in the comments for you, or any affirmation that really means something to you, and put it in your phone, okay, in the notes or on your where you have your alarms or whatever. I have a ton of these affirmations on my social media out there, so if you want to go look for a different one, just go look at those videos. Um, then set a timer 2 times, just 2 times each day, okay? And when that alarm goes off, stop for a minute, read that affirmation a couple of times, close your eyes and think about it. And that's it. Nothing complicated, okay? Just read it twice a day. Do that for 1 week, and you are going to be so surprised. You're going to be so surprised how well it works. And then I want you to report back, and I want you to tell me if you notice any changes and in how you're thinking, how you're feeling, or even the choices that you're making. And if you're working on something specific, if it's your health or confidence or finances or anything like that, um, and you'd like an affirmation centered around that, I'd be happy to help you craft one that fits exactly where you are. Please, please, please know that you are so capable of this. You do not need to force your way forward. You just need to notice what's pulling you. Take a step towards it, take a step in it, and relax into the flow. Your calling or your purpose will pull you forward, but you have to listen and you have to feel it. Then each right choice, when you lean in, builds momentum. Okay. Now remember, schedule the hard stuff and make the next right choice. You've got one life, honey. Make it the one you were meant to live, the one you've always wanted to live. Thank y'all so much for coming. Thank you, Georgia. So good to see you. And come back tomorrow for the next live video. I've got to figure out how to get out of this. And happy Easter.